si Venus and si Haji, pwede sila mag-swap ng role dito. Even if BREN Esports decide to pick something like the Rafaela as their first pick, para tanggalin lang yung mga heroes, pwede piliin ni Venus as the roam position. Haji can come in with something like a Cho. Very rarely do we see it, pero Haji can also play the Jawhead. So there's a lot of answers that Blacklist International can have in terms of what they're gonna play in the position 5 and 4. And sigurado ako na handa ang BREN Esports sagutin yun dito sa draft.
And Mathilda, the Estes, Signature, Oh My Venus pickups here, tinanggal na ng BREN Esports. And for Blacklist, nagtatanggal din sila ng mga position 4 heroes by taking out the Valentina and the Eve. Let's see kung anong magiging priority pick ng BREN Esports this time around, considering that they are playing blue side. They have 30 seconds to pick their first pick of the game.
A lot of options available here. Let's see if they're willing to pick up the Selena again at one point. Tito's gonna be open. Esmes open still. They want to first pick that. Edith, bukas din dito para sa BREN Esports. Pero, sabi nila, sige, mag-glue kami. Something that Blacklist International earlier banned as their last ban. So now, I think BREN Esports, and I think for the Ube Strat in general, nakita natin, there was one game back in MPL Philippines Season 8. I believe it was late Season 7. Oh no, yeah, it was Season 8. It was Echo versus Blacklist International. It was a game where, I believe it was game number 1 ng series na yon. Blacklist would end up winning that series, pero nakita natin, pinahirapan din ng Echo noon ang Blacklist International with the glue pickup. So BREN Esports thinking, okay, baka ito ang sasagutin namin sa pag-ube ng Blacklist. And Blacklist, mentioned it earlier, it was open for them. They pick up the Rafaela for Oh My Venus at pinili din nila ang Uranus para sa XP lane, gonna be going into the hands of Dominic.
Blue will be the pickup here for BREN Esports, and parang ito na yung nagiging classic XP lane matchup natin, no? The Glue versus the Uranus, and ito ang ating makikita sa game number 2 between Blacklist and BREN Esports. The Rafaela will be the option for Venus here, considering na isa rin to sa mga picks na talagang gustong-gusto niyang laruin. Ang joke nga ni Baloyski or Greed coming in from Onyx Philippines nung nispam siya ng Rafaela no M3 was, oh my Baloyski na nga daw. But for the side of BREN Esports, they're gonna secure the Paquito. Might be a jungler or an XP laner, depende kung saan mapupunta yung Glue.
I was about to say this also, they could pair up the Paquito with the Ruby, and they did! So having the Paquito and the Ruby together alongside the Glue has less things to worry about now in terms of heroes that can really benefit from the fact that if he's activated with split, there's a lot of lifesteal. So most likely mapupunta sa kamay ni Joyboy ulit ang Ruby. Great game from Joyboy, game number 1. This Glue will probably go into the hands of Grand Zoo dun sa XP lane, so it'll be a jungle Paquito para sa BREN Esports. So Blacklist International, sagot nila, they are gonna be picking up the Kimmy beforehand. So BREN Esports will have to try their best to get to that Kimmy ASAP, not let it free hit from the backline.
Alam na alam kung paano maglaro ang Blacklist International with that Kimmy. Nakasanayan na nating makita si Oheb on this Kimmy, but we are going to watch Owl instead on this Kimmy. Harith din kanina actually nalaro din niya ng maayos in Blacklist International despite not having Oheb and Edward. As you said earlier in this series number 4 of the day, hindi naman sila nandito para makumpara. Nandito sila para maggumawa ng sarili nilang mga pangalan. And Owl and Dominic definitely game number 1. Nagpakitang gilas sa lahat ng mga Pilipino in that game. For BREN Esports, you could say the same for their rookies, but hopefully they extend this series to game 3 if gusto pa nila ng added exposure. Now, for the bans, tatanggalin nila ang Selena ni Few.
Respecting Few, even though, again, in terms of the score, it didn't look like he had a great game, pero ilang beses nakatama ng Abyssal Arrow si Few sa unang laro. Ang dami! I've lost count of how many times he was able to hit that Abyssal Arrow. So Blacklist International respecting that fact. Also knowing that they are up against a Glue, Ruby, and Paquito. Kung merong isang miyembro ng Blacklist na masistan na sobrang tagal dahil sa isang Abyssal Arrow, it means that they're gonna have to worry more about their backline. They're gonna have to worry about that Kimmy being reachable by BREN Esports. So BREN Esports decided to take away that Cho, something that could have been picked up by Haji. And now BREN Esports, they might even consider taking out the Edith again if they want to, para mabawasan lang din yung mga heroes ni Haji na pwede mang peel, pang control, pang initiate. But we have seen before that Haji's willing to pick up a Jawhead here. Could be difficult against a Ruby. If they can time things really well, they might actually be able to interrupt the toss after, kasi may parang split second na pwede mo i-control yung Jawhead pagkatapos ng Unstoppable Force or maiwasan mo yung Unstoppable Force.
And I just have to say, si Haji talaga isa sa mga, imagine mo, from another role and now playing Boss 5, one of the best Boss 5. In fact, we could potentially say that best Boss 5 in the world, considering that they've won the most recent M3 World Championship. And as predicted, Reptar, na predict mo, natatanggalin nila ang Edith at ang show ni Haji. Now, Blacklist International, they do have the chance to secure another pick here before BREN Esports decides to take their last two heroes. Sicilian ang kanilang uling tinanggal, and we have seen a lot of Sicilians for this team.
Yeah. Picks. Okay. Kagura. Provide a little bit of zoning. Great burst damage kung BREN Esports nag-decide sila na lumapit. The lightning truncheon damage is gonna bounce off the stick really well. Also, at the same time, you get free purifier in the hands of Kagura. So good safe pick there. It is gonna be a Rome Rafaela now. So BREN Esports, seems like yun yung parang gusto nila na mag-Rome Rafaela, see if Blacklist will just put Haji in the position 4 and make Venus roam with the 5. So BREN Esports will just need their mid laner again. What are they surprised?
The Farsa is still open. The Farsa is still open if ever they do want to take that Farsa. Pero Brody na ata muna ang kanilang kukunin for the gold lane. Let's wait kung ano bang lalabas sa kanilang mid lane dito. One Lilia ang kanilang kukunin for that wave clear. Na naban to last game. Last game na ban ng Blacklist ang Lilia.
Yep. Great picks here by BREN Esports. There's a lot of room for the Lilia and the Brody to shine. Just gonna have to watch out for the Uranus, but there's a lot of burst damage coming out from the side of BREN Esports. If they have a good early game and they can farm up well, Lilia and Brody will be able to get the items real quickly and be able to deal a lot of damage. Mahirapan yung Blacklist International na lumapit sa lineup ng BREN Esports. So BREN, don't be surprised if they'll be the aggressors here. Kung sila yung mag-i-engage, kung sila yung mag-uumpisa ng laban, really get close to the fight there. While Blacklist International will probably focus on re-engaging, being defensive, and then counter-engaging against BREN Esports.
Yeah, and Clint will be their last pick, Blacklist International. And I feel like this is going to be Oh My Venus playing on the Rafaela at Kagura naman para kay Haji position 4. We might even see a switch up here, but it's going to be the same players for game number 2. This is match point already, by the way, para sa Blacklist International. Ibig sabihin kung manalo sila ay madediretso na sila sa winner's bracket. Meanwhile, if BREN Esports wins this game number 2, abot naman tayo sa game 3. So abangan natin game number 2 is something that is very crucial in a best of 3 series kasi ito yung tipo na either ends it or extends it. Kung BREN Esports fan ka, make sure na extend ang gusto nyong mangyari and share the stream. Of course, like nyo na rin para mapanood ng mga kapwa mong BREN Esports fans. And of course, sa Blacklist International fans na rin na nakatutok ngayon. Share the stream. This could be their final game of the night. In fact, the final game of the night. Let's head on to the land of Dawn for game number 2. BREN Esports versus Blacklist International.
Sa mga sinabi ko dun sa lineup ng Blacklist International, that still holds true. But don't get me wrong, pwede pa rin mag-engage ang Blacklist International. We've seen it many times. Rafaelas these days, walang takot yan. Mag-flicker yan, tas mag-holy baptism yan. Venus can open up engagements and team fights and set it up for Blacklist International. They don't have to play defensively or they don't have to play counter-engage to make this lineup work. It's just that it looks like there's a high possibility or high potential for Blacklist to actually win team fights like that. Na pag yung BREN Esports nag-initiate, they'll be able to counter. Maybe Oh My Venus can drop down Holy Baptism, stun a lot of members of BREN Esports, tas sasabugan ng damage nila Owl at ni Haji. But then at the same time, BREN Esports have a lot of initiation that they might actually be able to survive that or just pick off Oh My Venus early on. They'll lose a lot of their stunning capabilities. It'll just be really up to Haji and Al to be able to land the control. You'll get a bit of control from the slows of the Kimmy. So those are the things you have to look out for here in terms of engaging at sino mag-uumpisa ng mga laban dito sa game na to.
Blacklist International, BREN Esports in this game, parang nasasabayan lang nila ang isa't isa in terms of rotation. In fact, this is not going to be, I think, this is wise on the Kimmy and not Owl. Kasi Clint nga pala ang kanilang last pick na. So it's a Clint versus Brody pala in the gold lane. And Turtle will be spawning a few seconds from now. In terms of pressure, no, sino ba ang inaabangan natin dapat makalamang dito sa first Turtle?
The turtle of the game is Joy down. There you go.
Uranus out for the count here. It's first blood going to Blacklist International.
Yeah, Ruby out of the count there for BREN Esports. But despite that, Blacklist had a feeling that they won't be able to go for the turtle despite them being able to take down that Ruby. BREN Esports still starting it off and they'll be able to land that turtle. Tignan natin kung paano sasagot ang Blacklist sa mapa. That's a bit of gold already given there to the Uranus for Dominic.
BREN Esports, despite losing out one member, sila pa rin ang nakapag-turtle. So first turtle of the game going to BREN. Let's see if makakabalik pa sa terms of kill score ang BREN Esports dito. Wala pa naman tayong masyadong malaking kalamangan. Blacklist International just up by 100 gold. This is technically still equalized.
Yeah, and still great similar start to what we saw in game number 1. Both teams sobrang calculated sila kung paano sila gumalaw. What are they gonna prioritize? Who's gonna get the turtle? Kung hindi tayo makakakuha ng turtles, saan tayo pupunta pagkatapos nun? Magpa-farm ba tayo? Magpa-pressure ba tayo sa lane? It's what we've been seeing from these two teams since game 1, and we've seen that from other teams as well throughout the day. This goes to show the next level of playstyle that these professional players that we have.
And this is following the pattern actually of game number 1 na napakatahimik na early game pero marami tayo nakikitang attempts. In fact, Owl forced to back out there in the region. Saksa and Joyboy naghahanap ng opportunity in the gold lane. In fact, 4 people on the side of BREN Esports are now converging towards this gold lane. This might just be a bad spot here for the Queen. He will be flickering away. And now Owl will be taking down the Ruby out of nowhere. Blacklist International now 2 kills ahead against BREN Esports.
BREN Esports losing Joyboy. There probably would have been better if they didn't give the tower. Hindi nila nakuha lahat, but that's way more gold for the team and for the Brody. But despite all of that, because of the 2 kills that Blacklist International got, sila nga yung lamang dito sa gold 4 minutes and 20 seconds in.
And mukhang nahanap na naman nila ang Queen. And there goes Venus. He's now down. The turtle possibly going to BREN Esports once again. But the fight just continues down mid lane. Si Medivh, si Pew, naghahanap ng bawas. Pero clear na lang muna ng wave. Turtle, sisimulan na ni Saksa. Pero makikita siya ni Dominic. Mapigilan kaya siya ni Dominic dito sa Turtle.
It'll be really hard to 4 versus 1. Dominic, wala siya masyadong magagawa dyan. So he backs off. Blacklist still trying to get farm up for Wise. Of course, the farm for the Kimmy and for that Clint. Very, very important. For BREN Esports, moving around the map really well. So still a very close game and a close contest for both of these squads.
And now Blacklist International, a very close contest as you said, 100 gold lang ulit ang laman ng Blacklist International, and we are entering the 5-minute mark. This might be dangerous for the Queen, gets pulled out and immediately gets bursted down. BREN Esports equalizes the kill score.
Confident play there by BREN Esports. Spot out si Oh My Venus now. Na-focus nila ang bottom lane tower para ma-delay pa si Owl at para makalamang na dito si Kevs so he can start roaming around with that team. First tower of the game will be destroyed by BREN Esports. This should increase the tempo here for BREN Esports. Potentially go for a 4-man or maybe even 5-man take on the turtle kung hindi naman in threat yung bottom lane. But what BREN Esports can do next is go for a 5-man turtle take and just convert it into a tower on the top side kung bukas nga yung opportunity na yun para sa kanila.
Oh no! Oh! Overstepping a little bit inside the jungle of BREN Esports. That's 2 straight kills na nakakuha ng pick-offs ng BREN Esports dahil naiiwang mag-isa ang mga ibang miyembro ng Blacklist International. I feel like kailangan na nilang magsama-sama dahil doon sila malakas. At nahilapin naman dito ang The Queen. And now, John Marvilla Luna, he's gonna go down. It was a 3v2. Pero mukhang makakatore pa ang BREN Esports.
Saxa Jago on this Paquito. Kenneth Fedelin having a fantastic game so far. You can really see the connection between him and Joy Boy, how they're roaming around together in the map. Great timings for both of them. Kev's also having another great start to his game, and now with 2 kills to boot. 2 kills, 0 deaths, 1 assist for John Kevin Stojero. Turtle is up, Saxa gets it again.
Look at the disgusting damage coming in from Few here. Talagang ang bilis ng wave clear ng isang Liliams, lalo na kung isang Archangel ang gumagamit nito. Oh, look at that! The play coming in from John Marvilla. Sadly, hindi sila nakapag-secure ng kill doon, pero what an aggressive flicker coming in from the Queen.
Oh, Dominic, baka ma-burst down, pero makakataka siya. And that flame shot plus maximum charge combo from the Kagura and the Kimi almost deleted one member of BREN Esports after that setup from Oh My Venus. Pero nakalayas daw ng mga miyembro ng BREN Esports na iwasan nila ang damage ng Blacklist. Muntikan na yun maging long-range pick-off para sa Blacklist.
And now Blacklist International, they are behind by 2,000 gold. Lamang ang BREN Esports in terms of fighting power in this phase of the game, especially if pick-offs ang usapan. Si Joy Boy, mukhang nag-e-enjoy si Vincent de Guzman sa paghihila ng mga targets. Preemptive, only baptism coming in from the Queen, pero nahila pa rin siya pabalik. And that's a killing spree for Saxa. That's 1 man down for Blacklist International. At mukhang itutuloy nila ang pag-push. Mag-ingat-ingat na dito si Owl, and he will be defending this turret. Pero ayun, punta pa rin sa kamay ng BREN Esports.
Red team hero has been slain.
Blacklist International will be stuck in defensive mode for a long time. Na-pick off nga dun si Wise sa mid lane. I believe that was a kill for the Lilia on the hands of Few. So now BREN Esports, 20 seconds bago mag-spawn yung Lord. Meron silang good chance na kunin yung Lord na to na walang problema. But with Oh My Venus back in the map, Wise will be back in 3 seconds. Blacklist will still be able to contest it if BREN decide to position for the Lord. It's just gonna be up to BREN Esports to apply pressure in another part of the map. Mag-split push sila, let a minion wave push. But look at that, Blacklist International handling the minion waves well. In on the bottom lane, si Kev's trying to force that bottom minion wave to push. That opens a reaction for Owl to clear and opens up the Lord for BREN Esports. What a play there also by Few dun sa mid lane.
Yeah, nice play from Few. Actually denies the entire contest of Blacklist International for the first Lord of the game. So all of the turtles actually napunta sa kamay ng BREN Esports, at ang pinakaunang Lord din ay napunta sa kamay ng M2 World Champions. The M3 World Champions right now has been on the defensive side for the past few minutes, at lumalaki na rin ang gold lead ng BREN.
Radiant Armor picked up now by Granzu. Meron na din siyang Dominance Ice. Also getting a little bit more damage from the AoE he gets with that Molten Core. So now Granzu will be a very annoying presence here for Blacklist International, especially considering how Blacklist, sobrang backline heavy yung lineup nila. Granzu will be a problem for them. And BREN Esports in full control now. Just full control of the map. Nagmamarch yung Lord dun sa top lane. Pero big minion waves in the bottom and in the mid. Here's a play!
Play from BREN Esports! One person down already to the side of Blacklist International. The shutdown goal to Chuck. Pero may Goblin team muna na magaganapan sa Paquito. This is a 4v2. Owl, Dominic, the new players of Blacklist International forced to defend against 4 people from the side of BREN Esports. Can they actually do it? Owl, Dominic, mukhang mapapabak na
Red
sila.
team turret has been destroyed.
Mr. Vincent de Guzman bringing the joy, boy, to BREN Esports. What a play by BREN. Force the conceal, flicker forward, use the ultimate. He gets another one to annoy Dominic, but Granzu yung delikado dito. Kailangan niya umalis. Flame shot lands from downtown. Blacklist get a kill, but Blacklist are left standing with just one tower in the mid lane after a great play by BREN Esports.
Man, Joy Boy, Vincent de Guzman with the conceal, and I'm offended, immediately bursting down Wise in that fight. Blacklist International, they're forced to defend with 2 inhibitor turrets down, 1 at top, 1 at bot. Medyo mahihirapan sila dito kasi yung sideline sila ay magiging forever slow pushing. And in terms of turrets, no, isang turret pa lang ata ang napapabagsak ng Blacklist International, and this is really going bad for the M3 World Champions. They need to make a play or in fact win a team fight para makabalik sila sa laro na to.
Conceal, not gonna be up yet for BREN Esports, so hindi sila makakasurpresa dito. Out of nowhere, malaki yung gold lead ng BREN Esports, 5K, at with Oracle and Brute Force breastplate pickups there, Oracle para kay Granzu, saka BFB para kay Saxa Jago, kahit ma-burst sila ng Blacklist International, baka may chance pa ang BREN Esports na makalaban even after all the abilities of Blacklist International have been tossed, especially for this Lord fight. Those 2 item pickups are gonna be very important for BREN Esports. Blacklist, let's see how the reigning M3 World Champions will respond to this next potential Lord fight.
Luminous Lord already up, and now BREN Esports, they have sufficient control over this area. Hindi pa rin nagpapakita si Saxa Jago. Blacklist International, bulag pa sila kung nasaan ang core. Pero half HP on the Lord. Nice zoning coming in from Granzu and Joy Boy. This looks to be a 3 Luminous Lord for the side of BREN Esports.
Completely zoned out by the Ruby and Blue combo. Hintayin na lang ng BREN Esports at ng Blacklist International lumabas ang Lord. Could be the final push to end the game. If Blacklist International will be able to clear the waves, there's a really good chance mawawalan sila ng Torre, but they might still be able to hold on. BREN Esports on the other hand, with a relatively comfortable gold lead, high chance na pwede na nila tapusin ang laro na to with this marching Lord coming in the top lane. BREN Esports trying to control the minion waves in the middle. Sino ang magwawagi sa siege na ito?
Inaayos na ng BREN Esports ang kanilang flow dito ng mga minions. Mid lane na ang kinokontrol ng Pakito. Sabay-sabay babagsak ang top, mid, and bot. It's going to be hard for Blacklist International. They need to find the correct targets fast. Black Shoes forced out. Here comes the Holy Healing coming in from the Queen. Pumasok na rin ang Blue sa likod. Sino kaya una mahuli? Look at the damage! Knockout punch! Massive for BREN Esports! They're going in for the face, pero sabi nila hindi pa pwede. And this is just BREN taking game number 1.
Prime time, showtime, game number 3 has been forced. BREN Esports nagwagi dito sa game number 2.